G'day everyone, this is James and welcome back to the channel. Wow, it really seems like I can't keep a hold of that 2-week schedule idea that I had originally when I started these videos. And it seems like my videos are coming out every 3 weeks instead, so maybe that should be my new schedule idea. So again, I do apologize that it's a little bit later than I had hoped. Very busy at the moment with both my day job and also some freelance work that hopefully I'll be able to share on some of my gallery sites soon. As we get into the video, if you like what you see, as always, please hit like and subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment or questions or anything like that, and I'll try to get back to them as quickly as I can. So in the background today, might be a familiar looking guy. I'm back to Star Wars again. I do love drawing Star Wars, and with this one I had this silly idea, just trying to have fun, of drawing a series of characters, 2 of which are in the video today, Star Wars characters, but draw them like they're old Kenner action figures from the late 70s and early 80s. So today I'm drawing Greedo, but instead of Greedo wearing the outfit that he wears in the movie, and for people who aren't big Star Wars fans like myself, Greedo is the character that he's like a bounty hunter, and he tries to capture one of the heroes, and the hero guns him down. He doesn't last very long in the movie, but just his scene, I love it, and he became one of my favorite characters. So he doesn't wear the normal outfit that he wears in the movie, which is very muted greens and browns. His action figure from the Kenner line back in I think he came out in the very early 80s. It could be 1979 he came out, but either way, he was not wearing that. He was wearing very, very bright green, and it's always stuck in my head. I had the figure when I was a kid, and I loved it, and I just thought, that's the Greedo I want to draw. And there's another character that I'm drawing in the video later after this. I think in the canon now, I think it's still the Star Wars canon, his name is Ponda Baba. But the action figure from the Kenner line was always called Walrus Man, because the character looks like a walrus. And he's another one from the same place as, you see him in the same scene as Greedo. And he doesn't get much screen time either before he gets cut down by a lightsaber. And again, in the movie, he's wearing very muted browns and like a dull orange jacket. But in the original action figure, he's wearing like this bright orange, it's almost like a life vest, and very saturated blue pants and sleeves. It's very different, and I thought that both of these would be a lot of fun to draw. So, as we get into that, as you watch me drawing fan art in the background, I want to talk a little bit today about the idea of fan art. Even now in the community, the art community, that wide amount of people that don't associate with each other for the most part, but they still consider themselves a community, there's a really big stigma about the idea of doing fan art. Some people recommend it, other people say don't do it at all. They don't like it. They won't even support other artists that do fan art. And each side has their reasons. I'm not going to play middle person here and talk about either side. I am firmly on the side of do fan art. And I'm not actually going to go out there and tell people to do it, because I don't think that's what my channel's really about. It's more just my thoughts on the topic, and if you agree with it, then cool. If not, then cool as well. But I'm going to go into why I choose to do fan art and why I don't think that it's such a bad thing to do fan art. The first one is, growing up, everyone starts drawing. They either start drawing at school or they start drawing at home around the age of 3 or 4. Pretty much every kid picks up a pencil or a crayon or a marker or something, and they start drawing, and they draw things that are familiar to them. So usually they will start drawing like their family, their house, things that they see outside, trees, flowers, cats, butterflies, all of that kind of stuff. And then the other thing they usually start drawing is fan art, because that's what kids know. And I know myself, I was drawing, of course, Star Wars when I was a kid. I think I was also drawing, like as I got older, I was drawing Transformers and Mask. There's another forgotten 80s TV show with a really cool theme song. Ulysses 31, that one was awesome. Cartoon based on the Odyssey. And the whole point was you're just drawing something you know, and you're having fun, you're enjoying art. And a lot of people lose that when they get older, and I don't think they should. Like I don't want to. I don't want to lose that personally, and I feel sorry for anyone who has lost that idea of just drawing characters and events from films and TVs and comics that they love, just for the enjoyment of it, and not even thinking about trying to make money off of it. Because a lot of the stigma behind it is that you can't sell it and you don't own it, and that's the biggest one, I think, with a lot of artists, is that they don't own it, and they feel that they should own everything that they do. And that's a noble idea. It is great as artists to create stuff and be able to own it. It's very difficult when you work in the game or film industry, because you're always doing work for companies and you don't own it. Most of the time you don't even get to keep the work. The company keeps it locked away on their own hard disk drives, their own servers, and you don't get access to it if you leave the company. So the idea of like not owning something should be pretty common amongst a lot of artists working in the industry. But they I guess, like when they're doing their personal work, they want to own everything that they do in their personal work. Again, it's fair enough, but for me, I just want to have fun. I find it relaxing, and you can learn from it. You can learn the design language of whatever it is that you're drawing. I wouldn't recommend stealing that and using the exact same ideas on your own personal pieces, but you can definitely let things inform you, and then that will actually become part of your style, as we were talking about in the last video, or maybe a couple of videos ago. All of those things, they get locked away in your memory, and hopefully your muscle memory as you're drawing. One of the big ones with doing fan art, outside of just having fun and enjoying yourself and relaxing, is the exposure element. And again, artists don't get paid in exposure, and you should definitely not work for other people for the promise of exposure, because every artist has it within themselves to get exposure. Like if you're on the internet and you're posting to social media, you are already in charge of your own exposure. You shouldn't be relying on somebody else, especially like producers of big projects where they promise to pay you in exposure. Like, that's just a load of BS. Don't fall for it. But a lot of artists have gained a lot of work through the exposure of drawing fan art. One of the biggest, most notable cases of it is with the artist Dave Raposa. Now, if you don't know Dave Raposa's work, you should definitely go and check it out. Now, Dave Raposa, he had been around for quite a while, drawing and painting. He spent a lot of time on conceptart.org back in the day when that was like the place to be for artists. And I remember seeing him following his sketchbook and everything on there, and you could tell he was going to be a really amazing artist. But it wasn't until he did a series of really, really cool Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle characters, and he did them in a realistic way with awesome lighting. And soon after, he also did some Masters of the Universe characters, and this just put the spotlight right on him. Everyone took notice. They're like, Dave Raposa, Dave Raposa. Like, everybody knew his name within the art community, and a lot of big companies also like discovered him because of this, and it led to a lot of work. Now, even now, I follow Dave Raposa on Instagram, and he still posts a lot of fan art. He does like Neon Genesis Evangelion. He's also gotten work for Marvel, doing Wolverine, Logan posters, I think it was, for the Marvel movie, 20th Century Fox. He's done Terminator posters. Now, some of those aren't necessarily fan art, but I think because of his work doing fan art, a lot of it has led into these positions with big companies doing work for them. But he's also used this fame that he got from doing the fan art to build an audience for his own private projects, such as he's got a Steve Lichman, which is an awesome book if you can get a hold of it. Really, really funny. All right, and then moving on from that, another excellent use of fan art is portfolio. Now, a lot of people might say, you can't put fan art in your portfolio, that's really unprofessional. But there's ways around it that you can actually put fan art into your portfolio. And that is through taking characters from a universe that you like and doing a complete redesign. And you can take props, you can take characters, vehicles, environments, and you can redesign them in your own style and put it into your portfolio. And that shows art directors that you can take a property and reimagine it, and that's a really good skill to have. Another way of getting fan art into your portfolio, but also, and this is a really sneaky way, because it also becomes your own original work that you do own, and that is taking the style from an established universe and creating characters within that style. Art directors actually really like the idea of you creating characters that emulate the style that is used in those games and in the concept art for those games, but creating your own characters. So that's always a good way as well. People will tell you that a portfolio should all be the same style and recognizable as your work, and that's not necessarily true. A lot of art directors really like to see that you can change your style and that you can adapt and do lots of different things. So having a portfolio don't just have a portfolio full of a whole mess of stuff. It should still be pretty targeted to the company that you're applying to, but showing a couple of different pieces that are in different styles to prove to art directors that you can actually adapt and change and do a whole wide range of different work is always good, because then you become the go-to person for basically anything, right? You're a problem solver on many different levels, not just for one specific thing. Anyway, guys, I think I've rambled on enough about fan art, and I hope everyone listening and watching the video got just maybe something out of it. The most important takeaway is I think people should have fun when they're drawing. If it's for their own personal work, it shouldn't really matter, right? So anyway, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and make sure you hit like, subscribe if you like all of this stuff, and I'll see you guys next time.